today we're going to cover my top 10 games of 2017. First up at number 10 is Wasteland Express Delivery Service. It's a game by Pandasaurus that came out earlier this year, I believe around Gen Con. I actually pre-ordered it, so didn't get it there, but near then. So you're driving around in a post-apocalyptic world, kind of like Mad Max, delivering goods to people, and the goods are like bullets or water or food. It's really great, a lot of fun. It's a little difficult to pick up and learn because the rulebook's huge and there's a lot going on, but once you get there, it's totally worth it. Number 9 on my list is the Expedition Endurance expansion for Time Stories. I know that may be cheating because it's not a game, it's just an expansion, but to me, Time Stories is like, every expansion is like its own game, kind of. And it's just that good. If you've played Time Stories and you dropped out of it for some reason because you thought some of the expansions weren't great, which, to be honest, some of them are a little lackluster, man, this one's good. You have to come back and give it another shot. I highly recommend it. It's my favorite one in the entire series so far, and the one after that, they're bringing in new elements as well. Just it's really getting to a new level of game for me. Number 8 on the list for me is Yamatai, a beautiful Euro type game. That's really all I have to say about it. It's a lot of fun. It's put together well. The pieces and components are just fantastic, and it's a solid, fun game. Number 7 on my list, I didn't think this one came out this year originally because it was a Kickstarter I thought last year, but I Kickstarted it this year and received it, and BGG listed it as 2017, so I'm going with Gloom Haven. It's a dungeon crawl. You have a town you're leveling up, you have characters you're leveling up, you're getting new abilities for them, and completely co-op. No one has to play the bad guys. It's just it has a system for playing them. I play it with my wife. She really enjoys it as well. It kind of takes the zombie side type of dungeon crawl and takes it to the next level where it puts more thought, less randomness into it because you're playing cards, and more skill and thought. So I highly recommend Gloom Haven. At my number 6 spot, though, is Arcadia Quest Inferno. So taking the complete randomness that Gloomhaven doesn't have and just throws a ton of it in. Again, I played this one with my wife. I played it, I think we played through the campaign 3 times. It's just a blast. It's super fun. You're fighting each other, you're fighting the monsters, you're trying to get the quest done before anyone else gets the quest. It's just a complete Ameritrash beat 'em up brawl, and it's a blast. If you like tossing dice and killing bad guys, then you want to try out Arcadia Quest. Inferno. I played the first one. It just didn't hit the same, like the characters weren't as developed in it or something. I don't know. Something was just missing from the original that Inferno had. I recommend Inferno over it. Number 5 is from Haba, and it's sort of a sequel. It is Rhino Hero Super Battle. I have a soft spot for dexterity games in my heart, and this one does so much right. It's the only thing I don't like is the battle mechanic, or no, not the battle mechanic, but the chance to move up. You have to roll a die, and you have a good chance of getting a 0 or a -1. So some people never leave the ground floor. Man, when you get that 2 or 3 and you like fly up the building and then you have to fight someone else and then you knock them down the building, it's such a good feeling, especially if the building stays standing after it. I highly recommend you give it a chance, and it's great with kids, it's great with adults. I think I've played this more with adults than I have with kids, so super a Rhino Hero Super Battle. You guys check it out. Number 4 on my list. The first time I saw it, I was like, I don't know about it. I like Patchwork, and this kind of reminds me of Patchwork, and it reminds me of all the right parts of Patchwork, and that is Baird Park. You're collecting different shaped pieces, kind of like Tetris, and trying to fit them into a grid that is your park. When you cover up spaces, that allows you to buy more items for your park, more pieces. And I don't know what's in my brain that makes me love these puzzly type games like this so much, but oh my gosh, do they hit the right spot, and it is so much fun. It's super easy to pick up. You can play it with anyone, intro level to master gamers, and it's just a blast. I highly recommend it. Number 3 for me is Fox in the Forest. It is a 2-player trick-taking game, kind of like euchre, which a lot of people probably don't know, but you're trying to follow suit, but then you can play certain cards that win you the game instantly. Like, you win the trick, and then you don't want to get too many tricks, or you want to get a lot of tricks, but it's a weird balance, and kind of the scoring's kind of tricky to understand for a lot of people, but once you get it, it's really neat, like, because you can, if you take a few amount of tricks, you can end up getting more points than someone who takes all the tricks, because they're just not playing the game right. Like, you don't want to win every trick. That's bad for you in this game. So if you like trick-taking games, Fox in the Forest is a really neat 2-player trick-taking game that I recommend. Number 2 on my list is Dinosaur Island. This one surprised me. I kickstarted it. I was really excited because I love Jurassic Park and I love the 90s theme. And Dinosaur Island came out just in time to hit before the end of the year. I think I got it 2 weeks ago. And it's beautiful. The pieces, like, this might be because I have the deluxe edition from Kickstarter, but it's got like big chunky metal coins, and it takes this really difficult game and it breaks it up into 4 different phases. So it's got drafting. It's just like, the way they do it is brilliant, because altogether it's too much going on. But when they split it into the 4 phases the way they did, it makes it really simple. Like, oh, you have 3 options right now. Okay, everyone's done with those 3 options. Now you have these 2 options. Okay, everyone's done with those. Okay, now it's a worker placement game on your own board that everyone just does at the same time. And then there's like drafting, like you're drawing little guys out of a bag and hoping that you don't get, just like I guess it's sort of push your luck. Trying not to get the hoodlums into your park, because they're not worth victory points and they don't give you money. So they took it and they broke this really difficult game up into smaller pieces, and it made it really easy to play. I'm not a huge Euro fan, and man, this one everyone that played it loved it. And it hit a real sweet spot. And then, of course, you're building a dinosaur park, which is amazing. Who doesn't want to build Jurassic Park? That's just, like, the best thing ever, right? Dinosaur Island, my number 2. Before we go to number 1, I want to just cover a few games that missed the list. At number 13, I had 5 Minute Dungeon. It's a co-op dungeon crawl type game where you have cards in your hand, monsters flip up, and everyone together has to try and put down the right, like a sword or a shield or whatever, to try and defeat it. But you're not talking, and it's timed, so it's not like, okay, I have a shield, who's got the sword, or something like that. It's like, you're just throwing cards in the middle of the table, and it's hectic, and it's a lot of fun, and you have to try and beat the dungeon before you just beat yourselves, because you're going crazy and throwing cards out like madmen. So that was 5 Minute Dungeon. Next up at number 12 was an area control game from Cool Mini or Not called Ethnos. Kind of Ticket to Ride level game. Really smart how they did it. You have 2 options on your turn, pretty much. Pick up cards or play a run, or play a set. The larger the set is, the more points it's worth. And then when you play a set, you also get to do some sort of area control thing on the board, depending on what their ability is. They put it together. It's a really simple game. The artwork, I like. It's okay. A lot of people complain about it, but I think it's great, and it's just fun, easy to pick up, easy to teach. That is Ethnos. And at number 11 was Dice Forge. Forget deck building. Dice building is where you want to be. You are actually taking different dice and rolling them, and then depending on what you get, you can use your results to purchase new sides to put on the dice. So you're popping off the old sides, putting on new stuff that makes your dice better, and then you're rolling those on further turns and hopefully rolling the better sides, because then you get more stuff, you buy more stuff, and then more points, and it just you know, adds up and adds up and adds up, just like a deck builder would, but instead it's dice and rolling, and it's really neat. And it has some dice, like some luck mitigation by like, oh, if you roll this, it lets you change one of your dice to any side and stuff like that. So it's not as luck based as it sounds like it might be. So I recommend Dice Forge. Alright, and then on to my number one game that came out in 2017. This game I got, and I was kind of excited for. I almost didn't get it because I was on the fence, and I buy a lot of Cool Mini or Not games. People were like, oh, you just buy them because you're a fan, which I am. But this one, everyone that's played it has said it's amazing, and I will play it at any time, as many times as anyone wants to play it, because it is just that good, and it is The Godfather. Man, I was worried because it had a movie theme on it that the game was going to be bad, and I almost didn't get it. But I'm so happy that I picked it up this summer. It's area control, it's bluffing. There's an auction mechanic. You're putting money into these little metal suitcases, and then you're using that money to buy new guys, like buy the police chief off, so that you get to use him for the rest of the game and things like that. But then it's also hand management, because you can't have more than like 5 cards in your hand at the end of a turn, or 3 cards at some turns. So it takes a lot of different things and packs it into, well, it's a really big box, but packs it into a nice, neat package, and it's really streamlined. It's a fast, quick game. It's easy to learn because there's not a million things going on. The Godfather is by far the best game I've played this year, and I want to play it more. I can't wait to play it more in 2018, hopefully. So if you see me, I want to play a game, any of these 13, I'll play any game anyways, but any of these ones are a good chance I'll set it up and I'll teach you if I need to. But thank you for stopping in and joining me for my top 10 games of 2017. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and I will see you guys in the new year.